String of pearls are one of the most beautiful succulents. Unfortunately, they're one of the easiest succulents to kill. I know I have killed many throughout the years. But what if I told you that there is a secret Dollar Tree product that's guaranteed to keep your string of pearls alive? In this video, I am going to reveal that secret Dollar Tree product that is keeping my succulents thriving for months. So you definitely want to check out this video. Enough talking, and let's get to it. Now, before we dive right in, let's talk a little about string of pearls. They're succulents and they hold their moisture in these beautiful beads you see right here. And that's the problem. The main reason why lots of people kill string of pearls or succulents is because of overwatering. And that is the number one reason why your string of pearls probably died on you. I find it's better to underwater your string of pearls than to overwater your string of pearls. And you'll know when you're overwatering these plants, when all these beautiful beads on the stem start to look soggy and sad. Once these beautiful succulents are overwatered, it's very hard for them to bounce back. It's almost close to impossible because all that water that you've given it is now logged into its roots and it can't take up the water and it just completely dies. So we're friends here, right? So I can show you everything, right? That's right. Don't judge me, but this is a plant that I kept for 3 years and this used to be a succulent. I keep this plant as a reminder of what not to do until I found a secret Dollar Tree product that keeps me from overwatering and underwatering. So I'm going to show you what that product is. Nope, your eyes are not deceiving you. This little bottle, yep, the same one that you use for ketchup, mustard, is the tool that keeps my string of pearls alive. Let me show you why. With a regular watering can, the water floods the plant and before you know it, root rot. With this condiment bottle, I can control exactly how much water I give my plant. No more drowning, no more guessing. So why not a simple watering can or a spray bottle? Well, when you use a watering can, unfortunately, sometimes you can see right there, it waters the beads and you don't want that because that leads to the beads being mushy. With a spray bottle, you really can't get to the crevices. You have to push down. You can get into those hidden crevices, and that's what makes this so great. A condiment bottle controls the amount of water that you're giving this sensitive plant. It also separates the beads a little easier, so you're not getting the beads wet. You're just watering the soil. I know what you guys are saying. A condiment bottle? Really? Well, how would you water this plant? This is a purple wandering Jew, and you see this plant lots of time at Home Depot, even at Lowe's. Take a look at the beautiful foliage. There's a lot of it, right? How would you water this plant? You're not going to use a spray bottle. You're not going to use a cup because the roots are all the way down here. So with this condiment bottle, I am getting directly to the roots. I am not overwatering. I'm not underwatering. Now, I'm not saying that this is for every plant. This is for succulents or plants that are drought tolerant. Instead of pearls, these are little hearts, and sometimes you can see that they turn pink and they are just absolutely so cute. I got this also succulent at Home Depot, and just like string of pearls, you don't want to water the flowers, you want to water the soil. When it comes to watering, I water my succulents about every 2 to 3 weeks is plenty. Always let the soil dry out completely before watering again. I always use a well-draining soil. Even with the best watering method, bad soil can lead to root rot. I like to place my string of pearls in my bay window. It gets a lot of sun, but it has indirect light. Now, if the beads start to shrivel up, that means that the light is too much and you should move your string of pearls to another location. You can see right here, it is getting a little shrivelly up, but overall, you can see the plant is really good. This is one way to tell whether your string of pearls is a happy string of pearls. And if you see this area right here covered with loads of beads, that means that your string of pearls is very happy, because most of the time the string of pearls will start to gather at the top, not at the bottom. You see your string of pearls is very filled at the top, that means that it is thriving. I'm going to bring you in for a closer look. You see that point right there. There's just little points at the tip of the beads. That is where they connect. So if you lose a string of pearls, if the beads come off the stem, all you have to do is just pop it right back into the pot and make sure this little part is facing the dirt. What's great about these plants, and of course they're succulents, is because they really don't need a lot of water. They're not like houseplants. You can get away with not watering your succulent for at least a week, sometimes even 2 weeks if you have a good drainage soil. And these are hanging plants, and I find when they hang, they do better than just sitting on a coffee table spread out. So if you can, just make sure you hang these plants, because they do tend to get tangled up when you don't hang them. So what should you do if your string of pearls falls off? Well, you can propagate it in water, but I find it's just easier to put it back in the pot. Make sure that you use a well-draining medium. This is vermiculite. You can use perlite. Just make sure it's well-draining. And you just pop the string of pearls back into the pot like this, and just make sure the root is covered with the new medium. You don't want to cover the pearls. You want to find a small little root that you can put in the soil, and you just want to make sure that is covered with the new medium like that. And then you just water and just make sure that it's nice and tucked in. I'm not saying I use condiment bottles to water all my plants. I just use condiment bottles to water really fussy plants like string of pearls and those plants that you get from Home Depot. This is a really great hack if you have one of those plants that are really susceptible to root rot and you need to control the watering. Speaking of fussy plants, this is one of 3 videos that I will be doing featuring really hard to maintain plants like string of pearls using Dollar Tree products to keep your plants, indoor plants, alive and thriving. So you're going to definitely want to stay tuned to my channel to check out those videos. And have you started your seeds yet? Do you live in a cold climate? You don't have to wait until spring. I have a video featuring Dollar Tree seeds and how to get your garden going during the winter months. You're definitely going to want to check out that video. Keep on watching.